I know what you might be thinking. A block of code can look pretty intimidating at first glance, but I promise you, in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on all of it. We'll break it down piece by piece and show you exactly how to turn this into a powerful tool that you completely control. All right, first things first, every great project starts with getting the right tools for the job. For us, that just means getting our digital toolkit set up. And believe it or not, this is it. This is all the setup we need. This one single command installs all the libraries we need, including the real star of our show, Transformers. Seriously, this library is a total game changer. Think of it as a pre-packaged toolkit that gives us super easy access to the most advanced AI models out there. Okay, with our tools in place, it's time for the really exciting part, loading up the AI model. This is essentially the brain of our entire operation, and we're about to wake it up and get it ready to understand our text. These 2 lines of code, think of them as us summoning 2 key specialists from that Transformers library we just installed. The first is our translator, the auto tokenizer, and the second is our expert editor, the auto model for Seq2Seq LM. Let's take a quick look at what each one does. So first up is the tokenizer. Here's the most important thing to understand. AI models don't actually read words like hello or world. They only understand numbers. The tokenizer is our indispensable translator. Its whole job is to chop up our sentences into little pieces and convert them into numbers the AI can actually work with. And here's how we put that translator to work. First, we tell it which specific AI model we want to use. In this case, we're using a really powerful one from Grammarly called Coedit Large. Then we just use this from pre-trained command, which basically says, hey, go find and download the exact translator that was built perfectly with this model. And next, of course, we have the model itself, the expert brain. It's what's called a sequence-to-sequence model. Now that sounds fancy, but the idea is simple. It's an expert at transformation tasks. It's designed to take one sequence of stuff, like our messy sentence, and generate a totally new, corrected sequence as the output. And just like we did with the tokenizer, this one line of code does all the heavy lifting for us. It reaches out to the internet, downloads the entire pre-trained Grammarly AI model we chose, and loads that incredible brain right into our program, all fired up and ready for our instructions. So, we have our tools. Our AI brain is loaded and ready to go. Now comes the most important part of all. We have to give it clear instructions. And this is what's so amazing about modern AI. The simplicity here is just incredible. We don't need to write some complicated function. We just give the model a clear, direct command, just like you would to a person. Fix grammar. This whole instruction-based approach is what makes these models so powerful and honestly so intuitive to use. So here's what that looks like in the code. We take whatever text you want to check and we wrap it inside that fix grammar command. That whole thing becomes our prompt. Then we just hand that complete instruction over to our tokenizer, which, as you know, translates the entire thing into numbers for the AI. All right, this is the moment we've been building towards. The instructions are ready, they've been translated. It's time to hand them over to the AI brain and just see the magic happen. This line right here, this is the main event. We use the .generate method, which is our way of telling the model, okay, go, create a new output based on the instructions I gave you. This is where the AI takes our request and figures out the absolute best way to correct our sentence. We could also fine-tune the output a little bit with a couple of these parameters. Max new tokens is basically a safety rail. It just sets a limit on the length of the correction, so it doesn't accidentally write an essay. And numbeams is a really clever feature. It tells the AI to explore a few different correction options internally and then pick the one it thinks is the absolute best. And we are at the finish line. The AI has done its work and generated a new output. But remember, it's still in numbers. So our very last step is to use our tokenizer again, but this time in reverse. We use decode to turn those numbers back into human-readable text. Then we just print out the before and after to see the results. And there it is. On top, the original sentence we fed into the code. And below it, the clean, corrected text generated by our AI. All of that complex stuff we talked about boils down to this one simple, incredibly effective correction. It just works. So there you have it. In just a handful of simple steps, we installed the tools, we loaded up an advanced AI model, we gave it simple instructions, and we got a perfect result. This isn't just a piece of code anymore. It's your own personal customizable AI editor. But honestly, this is just scratching the surface. We use the instruction fix grammar, right? But this model can do so much more. What happens if you tell it to make this sound more professional or simplify this sentence? The tool is yours now. You can experiment with it. So the real question I have for you is, what else could you fix?